That'll control that is an Aquastat and your excuse me, your thermostat. So your thermostat is not calling, but it's maintaining temperature. You have what's called an Aquastat. You have it on your boiler. Because remember,
Even in the summer months, it's always maintaining a
right,
temperature.
that's because they have what's called a warm start boiler and a cold start boiler. A cold start boiler is it only heats up water and when there's a call for heat, so there is no Aquastat.
Is that what I have?
No, yours is a warm start. You have an Aquastat.
Okay.
The Aquastat is on the side. You can use the Aquastat to maintain the temperature because it's easier to bring temperature. So let's say to 180 degrees, 212 degrees. In this case, I remember yours. Yours is steam. Oh yeah, yours is steam.
Yeah.
It's steam. So if we want to make steam, for instance, we know we have to make 212 degrees plus.
Right.
But isn't it easier to make 212 or bring that temperature to 212 degrees from 160 degrees than opposed to bring the temperature to 212 from, let's say, 80 degrees, 5 degrees, 10 degrees, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The temperature coming out the water from your faucet on average is about between 40 to 45 degrees. That's an average, your cold water coming out of your faucet.
Right.
You got pretty cold water.
Right.
So it's easier to bring that temperature from 160 all the way to 212 and now you're making steam than it is from, like I told you, 40 degrees. So for 40 degrees, it'll take a longer run time for that
You're
boiler.
waiting forever to get my radiators hot.
Correct.
Okay.
You guys following what I'm trying to tell you guys? You understand?
Yep.
So that's what I'm trying to say. So in that case, if it's a cold start boiler, that means there's nothing controlling the temperature. It only heats up as just a demand for heat. At a call. Exactly. Every time there's a call for heat, that's what it makes up. A warm start boiler, they have an Aquastat.
Could you have a cold start boiler with a domestic water circuit in it, with a heat exchanger?
Yeah, but it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work, right?
It wouldn't work. You have to have an Aquastat. You have to have some sort of control. Correct, because the thermostat and the Aquastat, they're hooked up parallel. They piggyback off each other. So one overrides the other. So in other words, right, so they're connected to the same line. So the thermostat is not calling, but the Aquastat is calling. But they're connected together.
If either one calls,
one or the other, correct. One is calling, but one is calling for heat, and the other one's calling for temperature or hot water. That's the only difference. But they're hooked up to the same line. So they're piggybacking off of each other. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay, kind of. So the Aquastat is just the Aquastat is just maintaining the temperature inside the boiler at all.
What is the word Aquastat? Think of it as separated.
Water.
Stat is the temperature. Aqua is what? Water. Exactly. So that's what's called an Aquastat.
And what temperature is that usually maintaining at all times? On
a regular standard hot water boiler, is between the highest is 180, at the lowest is 160. You have a delta T of 20 degrees. And the reason for that is because if I had to do it the regular standard way, meaning let's just say it makes 180 degrees and it drops down one temperature, what's going to happen if I have that 20 degree differential? The boiler's going to kick on.
Kick it on every.
So exactly. It's going to turn on and on, on and off, on and off, on and off. And guess what? You're going to burn out the control. So it needs some time of a downtime.
Okay.
So you're going to bring it to 180 degrees. When it reaches 180 degrees, it knows it's going to shut off on what? On the Aquastat. Right. When the Aquastat shuts off at 180, they have a differential. They have what's called a triple Aquastat. All that's telling you it has a high limit and a low limit. So when it reaches the high limit, it shuts off the boiler. Okay. Now the water is going to circulate through the pipes. It's going to keep circling as it's giving off radiant heat off the radiators. Now as the heat is coming off